talking to Danielle today on Kababayan LA. Danielle has a show, catch her, on A Place in the Sun.
Yep.
On Discovery Channel.
Discovery, yeah.
Yes. Let us talk about that show. You mentioned earlier that it's how often do you travel?
Probably about 8 months out of the year, and it's all international.
You just wrapped the season, right?
We did, and we're going to go out in our second season shortly.
Which places have you visited so far?
We went everywhere. First season we went from Croatia, Sicily, New Zealand, Fiji, Okanagan. I mean, I saw a good amount of the world.
Oh, that sounds like fun. Are you hiring?
Yes, you're hired. You go with me. We can do the show together. This will be perfect.
Yes, and today she is my co-host. We're talking about honeymoon, romantic getaways. Earlier we talked about a little bit of the trends, but now let's talk about honeymoon on a budget, because you know the economy is still, it's still uncertain right now, but people still want to relax with their partners.
Right.
You mentioned here, first of all, head north or south.
Yes.
Get great deals?
Yeah, well, I say to couples, if you're looking for an international flavor, head north or south. There's great places in Mexico. I think we're familiar with a lot of the beautiful resorts along the Riviera Maya or Cabo San Lucas, but I think there's equally romantic destinations on a budget in BC, Canada. I went to a great place that I think is a hidden gem in BC, Canada called the Okanagan Valley, and it's this 4-season destination spot. It's about a 3-hour flight, so you're not going to spend the whole day.
3 hours from
Los Angeles.
Okay.
Yeah, so what's great about that when I say head north or south is that then you're not going to spend the whole first day of your romantic vacation on a flight. And again, great deals. I think a lot of people aren't familiar with a place like the Okanagan Valley, but it's one of those places where there's outdoor adventure. There's also great wineries. It's known to have great food and wine. So sort of some secret spots to research.
Right. And when you do research, is it better, and when you talk about deals, you've been talking about great deals since earlier, do you go online for that, or do you still advise people to go work with a personal travel agent?
Well, see, this is tricky because I know a lot of travel agents, and being part of the travel industry myself, I think there's some great agents to talk to, but I myself research a lot online, and I do suggest to everyone that they sign up for flash sale sites. And flash sale sites are great because they will offer deals that you wouldn't normally get elsewhere. You can get 5-star hotels at 3-star prices. They also, what I love about them is they'll offer packages in places that maybe you haven't even thought of.
Right.
And they're such great deals that you can then talk to your partner about maybe exploring a destination that you haven't been to.
And you have to make a decision right away, though, because those deals only last maybe 5, 6, 7 hours, right?
Yeah, so you want to be able to plan ahead. You want to make sure you have that space that you can get away.
And speaking of planning ahead, when you do research, obviously you also need to be safe, at a place where you want to go to. And in Mexico, we've been hearing some of the not so good news about what's happening down there.
Right.
So, but you say that we can still go.
Yeah, you can still. I mean, you have to be choosy and you have to do your research. Absolutely. Another suggestion, if you're not into the international, I would say stay local. I mean, we're so blessed to be in California where there's some great romantic destinations. One thing that I love, and I think it's the most romantic trip, is the drive up north. So, and stopping along the way in cities like Santa Barbara and Carmel and Big Sur, and maybe ending in Napa for a wine tasting. If people don't want to make a drive, San Diego's, an hour and a half. Again, great locations down there. And there's a great website called bloomspot.com. And if you put in the location that you're going to, they will send you deals for restaurants and, excursions and adventure packages and that sort of thing.
What if you have ideas of where you want to go, but you just, you think that it's expensive and you just want somebody to help you plan it for you? What do you do?
You hire a travel agent. Well, or is that what you're saying? Like if you want somebody else to sort of get involved and help you plan your adventure, and you're not going to sort of research the stuff on your... I would get a travel agent involved. And I still think that, obviously they're versed in most of the locations. And if you give them a budget, they're going to work within your budget. And that's why I didn't want to say before that, that you wouldn't necessarily use travel agents.
Right.
Yeah, because I think
they know better, and
they do.
personal interaction. You can talk to them, you can ask them questions, and they can answer readily. Italy.
Right,
right?
right. And they'll have great deals to offer as well. And they can fit a vacation package into your budget.
And on your show, what you do is you travel and you show people, you know, real estate as well. So for people that are looking for second homes or vacation homes and all that, would you suggest there's also a trend that, you know, people would rather go to a rental place and rent a house or exchange houses or homes rather than go to a hotel? What's better?
Okay, I love this. There are websites, HomeAway.com is one, VRBO, and if you don't have the budget for an expensive resort, they're great options because I think they're just as good as some of the expensive resorts, and I think they're a little bit more private. You also can save on food because then you can cook it in your own place. I personally love this option. I try to do it on the road as much as possible, and again, you can even swap homes. There's home swapping websites that you can check out, and you know, I just think it's a good option if you're looking, you know, to save some money.
All right. Finally, romantic getaway. What comes to mind when we say romantic getaway? What comes to your mind?
Well, right now, Tahiti, because we are getting ready to go out in the second season, and so that's going to be our first show out. And I've never been there before, but from the pictures, I mean, I'm expecting it to be pretty
I'm
gorgeous.
so excited. When do you leave?
End of February.
Okay, wait for me. I will block my calendar.
You're going to be my co-host now.
Where can we catch you again? Tell us when, what time?
Velocity Discovery, Friday afternoons, Saturday mornings. Check local listings. And then sunpassport.com will also give you all the information.
And you're also going to show us some exotic destinations. What are some of the exotic destinations you've been to? Croatia, you mentioned earlier?
Croatia is amazing. And I know it's not really on the map for Americans yet, but it's a real hot spot for Europeans. And what I loved about Croatia, it sort of has this magical feeling. You feel like you've been transported back in time.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's amazing. And I think there's a lot of culture and history there. And a lot of people don't know that there's over 1,000 islands off the coast of Croatia. So again, you can rent a boat or take a ferry.
How's the weather? When's it a good time to go?
We went in the summer, and it was perfect. It was ideal. I think it's pretty year round. I would assume even in the winter, if it's cold, it's still romantic.
Right.
It's a great city.
And I think when you're traveling with somebody that you like or in love with, it's going to be romantic either way, right?
Yes, and I should have made clear, in Croatia, we went to Dubrovnik. I keep thinking of, you know, I say city, but Dubrovnik, we went to the old city of Dubrovnik. And again, it's a medieval city, lots of culture and history there. And then the outskirts of that city, there's just beautiful seaside villages to visit.
Ooh, sounds like fun. But you know what? That's the best thing about A Place in the Sun. You don't need to spend. Sometimes you just watch on TV.
Just go with me. Just go with
her and check out her shows. You air replays, right? On Velocity Discover.
Exactly.
Okay. And then when does it? What days and what time?
Friday afternoons and Saturday mornings on Velocity. And then
website
sunpassport.com.
Sunpassport.com.
Yes, exactly.
So thank you so much. More power.
Thank you.
And have not just one safe trip, but a lot of safe trips.
Thank you.
More power to you. We will be back more in Kababayan, LA. This time we'll take you to Italy through music. Don't go away.